Every day, this woman walks into the doors of a pregnancy resource center in Schertz, Texas. She leads staff and volunteers and boards, and she speaks to women and men who are making the difficult decision of whether to choose life or not. And she has a compelling story of how God brought her to this place and the healing and the hope that He's provided in her life. I would like to introduce to you Jeri Lynn Scott, Executive Director of Resources for Women in Schertz, Texas. I told her before she spoke today that she did not have to be nervous and her heart did not have to race because you were her friends and you loved her.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Texas Alliance for Life, for everything you do for the state of Texas. And thank you, Texas, for coming out. In 1973, when the Supreme Court of the United States legalized abortion, I was 6 years old. Fast forward 10 years later to 1983. I was 16 years old and a sophomore in high school. I loved running track and being a typical teenager. Little did I know, because of the Supreme Court decision 10 years earlier, my world would be turned upside down. Like other 16-year-olds, I enjoyed spending time with my friends and, of course, my boyfriend. Several months into our relationship, I realized that I was pregnant. When I told my boyfriend, he wanted nothing to do with me. He stopped talking to me. That made me very upset and very vulnerable. I felt I was on my own. But in a weird sort of way, I kind of felt everybody knew my secret. Desperate and scared, the only option I thought I had was to search frantically through the phone book to find some sort of help. Telling my parents at that time was not an option. I did not have the resources then like we have today. The only number that advertised pregnancy help was a name that I'd never heard before. The name of the clinic in itself deceived me into thinking that I was going to receive help, so I made a phone call. The pleasant voice on the other end assured me that they could help me with my problem. I agreed to schedule an appointment, and from there, I was caught in the deceptive trap of the abortion industry. Furthermore, I was convinced and coerced into having an abortion by the woman counseling me. She assured me that this was the best choice for a young woman in my circumstances. That choice still has lingering effects. Still to this day, I can hear the loud roar of that suction machine. Still to this day, I can remember crying uncontrollably as I lay there on the procedure table. Still to this day, I can hear the abortion doctor telling the nurse to shut me up. And she just patted me and said, "It will all be over soon." I can still remember to this day crying out and telling my baby that I was sorry, because deep down I knew what I was doing was wrong. Still to this day, I remember walking out feeling deceived, betrayed, violated, and completely shattered. Because of my abortion experience, I spent 15 years of my life in the darkness of depression. I suffered with major anger and rage issues. I had zero self-esteem. I self-medicated with alcohol, and I contemplated suicide several times. And I also surrounded myself with toxic people who also hurt me. The horror of my abortion experience taunted me daily. I finally hit rock bottom. 15 years of pain and regret was all I could take. Something had to change. Tears began to roll down my face one morning as I looked at pictures of myself. I realized that my negative choices over the past 15 years were because of my abortion. In that moment of deep grief, I cried out to God for forgiveness. I was 31. That is the day my healing began, and the beginning of my journey with Jesus that's led me here today, standing on the steps of the state capitol in Austin, Texas. We are just blocks away from the abortion clinic that I walked into 36 years ago. I have a message for that abortion clinic and for all other abortion clinics around our country. Abortion hurts women. It does not empower them. Abortion hurt me and took 15 years of my life. Abortion kills innocent, voiceless babies.
Amen.
And life begins at conception. A woman's body is not designed to have life taken from it. Our bodies are designed to give and bring forth the miracle of life. The effects of abortion hurt women physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Amen.
Much like so many other traumatic life experiences, but in my opinion, the affections of abortion are the most damaging of all. Abortion post-traumatic disorder, also known as post-abortion syndrome, is a very real issue. Research studies by various research firms report post-abortion syndrome affects an estimated 80% of post-abortive women. Some of the symptoms include, but are not limited to, damage to self-esteem, begin or increase alcohol and drug use, suicidal thoughts, attempted suicide, and suicide. These are staggering truths, yet so many women are unaware of the mental, physical, spiritual casualties associated with abortion. Over half of the post-aborted women reported that they felt extreme pressure to have an abortion from significant people in their lives. Their partner, their parents, their families, their life influencers, and finally the abortion industry. As pro-life, anti-abortion advocates, we must educate women and their families on the truth about abortion and the devastating effects of post-abortion syndrome. Nonprofit pro-life pregnancy resource centers, or PRCs as we call them, like Resources for Women, Options for Life, Central Texas Life Care, Austin Life Care, and the many other deeply committed centers around our great state and country are doing just that every day. PRCs are growing at rapid rates, and so we thank you if you're out there and you support them. Pregnancy resource centers offer free services to our clients such as pregnancy tests, limited obstetrical ultrasounds, STI testing, and other life-affirming services. We educate women and their families on abortion alternatives. We educate women about abortion procedures and all the side effects. We encourage women to think about their choices and to evaluate their situation. We encourage women to rethink that voice of, I can't do this, to, how can I do this? We equip women with the necessary tools to carry her baby to term. We offer community resources that can help women succeed in life as a mother. We come alongside women with our parent education classes and one-on-one mentoring. We also offer free professional counseling services to help women. And we offer post-abortion healing, recovery, and counseling. Many of the women on staff or volunteering at a pregnancy resource center can relate to these women on a very personal level. Many of them have a story of their own heartbreak and healing. Many of us understand how these ladies feel when they walk through our doors. We are able to relate to our clients because we have been there and we know what they are going through. As a post-abortive woman, it's important for me to share my story. When pregnancy clients at our Center for Resources for Women are unsure of what they want to do with their pregnancy, our client advocate asks them if they would like to speak to someone who's had an abortion. This has given me many opportunities to share my abortion experience. I will tell you, one of the greatest joys I have is holding a newborn baby of an abortion-determined client who changed their mind because I shared my story with her. Only God can do that. Only God can do that. As women all around our country break the silence of their abortion experience, they are being healed. Post-abortion healing is spreading throughout our nation. Women all over the United States and the rest of the world are speaking out against this tragedy that they have experienced. Many of you amazing women are here today, so thank you. It's making a difference. Continue telling your story so other women can be set free and healed. If you are a post-abortive woman in this audience today and you want more information about post-abortive healing, please contact one of these pregnancy resource centers near you. Someone would be happy to talk to you and your call is confidential. In 1984, President Ronald Reagan proclaimed January 22nd as Sanctity of Human Life Day. Just this past week, our amazing Governor, Greg Abbott, followed in our former president's footsteps, encouraging all Texans to celebrate the gift of life and continue to build a legacy of life that cherishes and protects the humanity and dignity of all Texans, born and unborn. I would like to say thank you to Governor Abbott for his outstanding leadership and his heart for the gift of life. Governor, you have played a huge role in so many women's futures, so thank you. I would like to remind each of you that 6 days a week in abortion clinics all over our nation, women are making a choice that they may or may not want to do based on their circumstances. They are not bad people. They are not bad women. They are lost women. In those same clinics are abortion doctors and staff providing those procedures. They're not bad people. They're lost people. So I'm asking, will you pray for them? Pray for the lost to find truth. And the truth of what they are doing would be revealed to them. And that they would have a change of heart, and most importantly, that they would come to know Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. As believers in Christ, we know that Ephesians 6:12 tells us, our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, and against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. In closing, to all of you who are in the battle every day and fighting for the pro-life movement, to all of my brothers and sisters that are in the pregnancy centers, the directors, the staffs, the volunteers, the board members and supporters, I want to leave you with a word of encouragement today from Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at a proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Texas, we will not give up. Thank you.
Did I tell you she was my friend?